Module 4, Public Policy in India in Comprehending a Pandemic. The world is in the midst of the most severe pandemic in living memory. Questions thus arise about the role of public policy in comprehending such a crisis. A public policy is a set of decisions by governments and other political actors to influence or change a problem or issue that has been recognized by policymakers or the wider public. How does a public policy offer to help us understand the current COVID 19 pandemic? We answer this question by considering policy perspectives across the world, which mainly include perspectives on policy making within the country, crisis response and management, global policy making and transnational administration, policy networks, scientific and technical expertise, emotions, learning, etc. Public policy within the country is a reflection of societal values and priorities. In India, public policies take a traditional form such as law, regulation, executive orders, local ordinances, or court decisions. Across the world, most countries have closed or restricted their borders and restricted travel within borders. This policy decision exists across levels of government. Crisis response and management explains societal actions in response to situations where there is a threat to core values and urgency to take immediate action. Responses occur at strategic and operational levels. The operational level refers to on the ground decisions of medical personnel, epidemiologists, emergency managers, and other professionals coping with the pandemic's immediate threat. The strategic level includes political administrative leaders that carry political responsibility and make strategic decisions, provide public accounts of events, and support coordination and collaboration. Transnational administration is related to the regulation, management, and implementation of global policies of a public nature by both private and public individuals operating beyond the boundaries and jurisdictions of the state. The COVID 19 pandemic signifies a sudden and drastic shift in policy networks. There were changes in agendas of many governments' decision making venues, such as legislatures and parliaments. For example, Indian Parliament broke up its very important budget session in the context of COVID 19. Public policy has focused more on the fundamental purpose of the policy issue area, like to deliver food to grocery stores, and less on issues of secondary importance. All policy decisions are influenced by scientific and technical experts in a particular area during a pandemic. It includes epidemiology, virology, public health, and medical sciences. The paramount importance of institutions like ICMR in India during the period is the best example for this. Governments, in making public policy during a pandemic, invokes the expertise to inform and legitimize the government choice of policy because evidence is the basis for sound policy decisions of a rational government and serve as a means to reassure the public. Another background of policy decisions to be legitimate is the government's appeal to emotions. It helps to legitimize policy responses and steer public reaction. They may use several slogans for invoking public response in substantiating their decisions. For example, the Break the Chain campaign all over the world and the slogan of Sharirika Agalam Samuhiga Urima, Man Ki Baat, Lighting the Lamp campaign during the pandemic period by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Governments attempt to provide sufficient information in a timely manner to the public during pandemic is essential and influence policy decisions. Learning plays a critical role in our ability to understand, influence, and address complex policy issues. During the COVID-19 period, all the policymakers attempt to inform the public through press releases or regular press conferences. What are the legislative measures in India in response to pandemics? India has faced two pandemics before independence: plague in Mumbai and Spanish flu pandemic. During the Mumbai plague epidemic, the British government enacted the Epidemic Diseases Act 1897. The law is meant for containment of epidemics by providing special powers that are required for the implementation of containment measures to control the spread of disease. Now, all the powers enshrined by this act is vested upon the Parliament and central government. The act has been routinely used to contain various diseases in India, such as swine, cholera, malaria, and dengue. This act provides for the better prevention of the spread of dangerous epidemic diseases. It extends to the whole of India. The government has the power to take special measures and prescribe regulations. If 7 states are threatened by an outbreak of any dangerous epidemic disease, or if 8 state governments think that the ordinary provisions of the existing laws are insufficient for the purpose. Under the provisions of the Act, the government is also empowered to inspect any person traveling by railway or otherwise, and the segregation in hospital, temporary accommodation, or otherwise of persons suspected by the inspecting officer of being infected with any such disease. This act also empowers the government to impose penalty to any person disobeying any regulations made under this act. This shall be deemed to be an offence punishable under section 188 of the Indian Penal Code. On 22nd April 2020, the Government of India announced the promulgation of an ordinance, the Epidemic Diseases Amendment Ordinance 2020, amend the 1897 Act by adding provisions to punish those attacking doctors or health workers. The ordinance allows for up to 7 years of jail for attacking doctors or health workers, including ASHA workers. The offence will be cognizable and non-bailable, among other things. What is the impact of the Act on civil and political rights in India? Powers of segregation or quarantine that the central government and state governments enjoy may encroach upon the political and civil rights of the public. As per the Act, the government can suspend some of the fundamental rights and the judiciary cannot interfere in this matter. Quarantine is a measure that adversely affects the fundamental rights to move freely throughout the territory of India, and during the period, state can deny the right to assemble. Epidemic Diseases Act include a protection clause that gives state immunity such that no legal proceedings can be brought against any person for anything done in good faith intended to be done under this act. The right to privacy, which is an essential component of right to life, may be violated as per the act which is legally permissible. To conclude, from the above discussion, the following aspects have emerged. While formulating a public policy, the basic needs of the most vulnerable communities should be considered. A pandemic can alter priorities of policy decisions. The increased reliance on scientific and technical expertise in making policy decisions, the role of emotions and their effects on legitimizing decisions and achieving desirable outcomes should also be considered. Thank you for watching.